Welcome for this first online car rental revenue management forum. In fact, it's the second edition. If you remember, we did once in March due to the cancellation of the ITB in Berlin. And because now we have also a lot of cancellations of fairs with the WTM in London and the French travel market in Paris. So we decided to organize our forum online. And we have a variety of speakers this week. Again, as you may have figured out, in the morning, every day of the week, we will have a speaker in English, and every day at 2 p.m. Paris time in the afternoon, we will have a French speaker. And all the topics will be done into languages. We like to organize this car rental revenue management forum to exchange together, to share ideas, to learn also, to widen our scope of revenue management for the car rental. For the one who knows me, I'm Emmanuel Scuto, the CEO and founder of WeYield. I'm in the revenue management for the past 25 years and in the car rental for the last 20, with a lot of pleasure because I like this industry a lot. Something we have all in common, and you also, even though you are not the clients of WeYield yet, is you are all in the move. Meaning by that some of you have already changed the way they work by implementing various revenue management techniques, and some are in the process of starting their transformation, which is a good element for us because we know that revenue management is a change concept, is to change the way we work on a daily basis. So how will it work with Antoine? You have two elements on the console. On the bottom right, you have the chat button, and you may be required to answer a few questions during the presentations. And also, if you have some questions for Antoine, you have on the top right, you have the question button. So please feel free to add some questions for Antoine, and he will be answering to them at the end of his speech. So there is also a lot of, we know that there is some distractions because you are online. So you have your telephone, you have your email, you have your WhatsApp and all those stuffs. So in order to get the maximum benefit of these 1 hour exchanges, I would really recommend that you put your telephone on the flight mode, and also you switch off your email, Outlook, Gmail, whatever, in order to really have these common elements together. Last but not least, at the end of the presentation for the audience, I will have a special offer only dedicated to the participants of today. So we will discuss this later. So now it's the time to introduce Antoine. Antoine is the pricing and revenue manager for Europcar Atlantique. Europcar Atlantique is one of the largest franchisees on the entire Europcar network, and is specifically located on the west side of France on the Atlantic coast. They have about 6,000 cars. As all of you, they have been struggling a lot with the economical situation. However, we think that they really went through the storm, or they are still in the storm, but they are facing it in a pretty nice way because of the long and past East strategy they have put in place. So they are very good pillars on this. So facing this situation is a really important element, and I think getting some feedback or some, let's say, illustration from a study case could be interesting. So now I'm going to give the hand to Antoine. You are on stage, I think, Antoine?
Yeah.
You can introduce yourself and start the presentation. It's on your side now.
Thank you, Emmanuel. So I just told, my name is Antoine. I'm working as a pricer and capacity manager for Europcar Atlantique, which is a franchisee of Europcar France in the west of France. Before that, I worked as a customer service manager in a Europcar agency for 5 years. I got the chance, the opportunity this February to join the Revenue and Capacity Management Service. So what a year to begin this kind of job. The presentation will show you how we faced the crisis during from the beginning of the year and what we set for the next few months. So the goal is, of course, not to tell you how to do things because we don't have the solutions, of course, but this is more to share with you the tips and the good practices we set. So I will share with you the presentation. Okay. So our pillars to face the storm. So first, I will give you some information, some details about the company SEPAMAT. Then the presentation will be based on 3 topics. So first, I will set a new direction. So that's the indicators we set to follow the evolutions of the different activities. I mean, different kind of customers offers. And then how we adapted the fleet. Then how we manage data. That means the new goals we fixed for every kind of offers, customers and stations. And then how we are trying to stay responsive by specific actions like pricing and one way, and also the new offers we created. And the conclusion at the end. So first, few words about the company SEPAMAT. We are leader in vehicle rental with 2 brands, Europcar Atlantique and Lokeco. And we also have a car sharing brand called Marguerite. And we also have some fleet services like garages, long-term rentals. We have an average fleet, about 5,500 vehicles, and we buy like 6,500 new vehicles each year. Set a new direction first. So, of course, one of the goals was to adapt the fleet and to define a new utilization target. So we define the different kind of offers, short-term, medium-terms, rentals, and the different kind of station related to the customers. I mean, B2B or B2C clients. And we also had to integrate the external data, like about the competitions, if they kept their stations open or closed, and also the government decisions, like the lockdown, of course. And that's how we projected the activity and we defined a new utilization. So about the projection of the activity, so that's a view in April. So that was done in orange and the future in white. So you can see for the different kind of activities on your left, for example, the medium-term rentals, the level is quite the same as last year. It's a rate about last year. So we define that for the medium-term rentals, we will do approximately 79 79% of last year. And of course, for the different kind of activities for individuals, especially on the train stations, on airports, the activity will be, of course, much more impacted. So that's why we define a 14% of activity related to last year. So mixing all the different kind of segment activities, we were allowed to project how many days will be sold during the last few months and for next year, of course. In the chat, you can tell me if you did the same or if you reduced the fleet. Okay, we also, of course, we projected, a turnover per month for each kind of stations. That's a view from the beginning of the year. So what you can see in blue is the turnover of last year. In gray, the projection, what we done in red.
Can you show, maybe follow with your arrow, so then you, voila, to
Yeah,
make sure
okay,
that everybody can follow exactly what you are showing, please.
Okay, so that's in blue, what we did in 2019 here. The projection in gray until the end of the year. That's in red what we done. So we are in October now. Okay, so now how we manage the data. So thanks to the WeYield app, we had a daily view of the reservations and the cancellations every day. And we also did it per week on our side for every stations. That view is a view of the reservation versus the CNPA. So CNPA is the competitions of the car rentals in France, as included. So you can see that after the lockdown, we get better than the rest of the companies in this, even during summer, on the morning only. The agencies were closed in the afternoon on Saturdays. But most of the others were closed all week long or closed in the weekend or only open in the morning.
So is it, do you think also that it helped you to, when the recovery, or let's say the business picked up again during summer, do you think it helps you to
yeah, of course,
manage this?
it's also because of the staff, because they stayed ready to restart. So when summer arrived, of course, they were ready to do so.
That's a very important element, that in fact, when the operation do not stop, they are therefore on their regular, let's say, habits. They don't have to start again and to take a new, expertise or habits, this kind of thing. So that's really something important to get the business back, and also in the psychology for all the staff members in the operations. It's like, okay, we have a value, we are ready to, and we are here to serve all the clients at any particular moment of their need. We have a questions from the audience. Maybe we can just interrupt Antoine at that time if you agree. The audience is in your crisis reforecasting process. Did you work globally, like for the entire company, or mostly by market segment, by business segment, or by location, or was it per market segment, per location? How did you structure it in the previous slide you were showing it to us?
So we did the job for every stations, in fact, every segment and stations then. So of course we did the job for the airport stations, the train stations, and the downtown stations. So 3 or 4 segments.
Okay.
3 or 4 segments, yeah.
And in the previous slide also you were showing some decrease, some slight decrease about the midterm versus the short term. Can you go back to this slide, please?
Yeah.
And is this yes, here. Apparently we can see, can you show with your arrow, with your mouse? Apparently the medium-term activity went less down than the short-term for sure. Can you show, yes, here the figures are only like 5 or 10% down for the summer in midterm activity, correct?
Yeah. And for individuals, you can see that it's much more impacted like this.
Okay. And regarding the split of cars and trucks?
Yeah, also, because the activity for trucks was quite good, related to the cars, which was very much more impacted. So after that, after the CNP view, we define the booming markets, so the different kind of customers and offers, the different kind of stations. I said the airports, the train stations, and the downtown stations, and the vehicles, cars, and trucks. So I just said for the medium-term rentals, the activity was not that impacted, versus, as you can see, this. Sorry. So in black, this is this year, and in dark blue last year, and in green next year. Versus the short-term individual activity in the airport. So as you can see, that was close to 0 during 3 months. And even during summer, the activity was really impacted.
And the green, it's not the forecast, it's next year forecast, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So does it mean that you plan a recovery, or
not so,
as good as the previous years, but at least better than 2020, correct?
Yep. Okay, so that's a view for the different kind of stations. The segments in the airports, on the train stations, in the downtown stations. So you can see the purple one is for B2B and the green one for B2C. So we can see on that graph that, of course, again, for the airports, the activity was much more impacted. The downtown stations were going quite well after the end of the lockdown. We had a surprise about the train stations, which is in yellow, because they were going quite well after the end of the lockdown.
Go back on the right-hand side now, you have the decrease that we see. Is it the new lockdown?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So as you know, for the non-French audience, we have a new lockdown since the 1st of November in France, and that will supposed to to end by the end of this month or early December. That's the official notice we have for the time being. So yes, we have a new 4-week lockdown, which is a little bit less under pressure, with a little bit more possibility for the people to continue to work. However, the work from home is really pushed by the government. So did you notice any change in your reforecast for November, or this is really the actual figure that you have?
This is the actual month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's still really down. Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's close to the level of the last one.
For the audience, the one who I see some people from Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, Sweden, do you see also this slight reduction again for this new lockdown? If you are experiencing another one in your country, can you please say yes or not really in the chat? Yes, same in Iceland. I don't know, for Austria, for Sweden, for Thailand. Yeah, same also for Sweden. Okay. So we have again this, okay, same in Italy, same in Greece.
Yeah.
So it's pretty Europe. On a wide, large Europe, it's really the same time of pattern. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
So because we rent some cars and trucks, so we were allowed to divide the risks. When cars really suffered from the lockdown, as you can see in March here. Even if in summer the activity was going well, but very far from last year here. So that's why we reduced the fleet. I don't know if you can see, but that's the pink line here, and the last year fleet line here. While for trucks, so of course we can see the same thing in March, of course, but from May and June, the activity was going better, and it also and we did better than last year from July. So that's why, as you can see here, we bought some new trucks in October here.
Do you feel any difficulty in purchasing trucks? Is there any tension on the dealer side to sell some trucks, or you don't have any problem like vans and regular trucks?
We did it well, but that was kind of difficult because the time to have some new trucks, it takes like some weeks or months, so this is not that easy.
I've been discussing with a client we have in Canada, and this client, in fact, is progressing a lot. He has about 3,000 trucks in Quebec, and in fact, there is so much pressure on the trucks that they have difficulties to purchase some new. So they also, I mean, the companies who are renting those trucks are really under the pressure to have new vehicles. So they are using also cars like estate car, like family vans, small vans, that they can convert to put some small parcels or small boxes, and it can be easily change the destination of the utilization of for the need, and it's a pretty new way of answering to the need of these logistic company that are really under pressure. So that could be something that you could implement to think about your estate, which are more like intermediate standard cars that could easily be used for the truck need. Can you go back to the previous screen? I'd like to ask a question for you, Antoine. Yes, this one. Did you on June and in July? Apparently, you increase your fleet, as we can see on the pink bold line. Can you show it on your screen?
Yeah.
Did you find any particular difficulties with the dealers to get new cars, or it was easy? How did you manage? Because it's like you reduce a lot from May and then you increase quickly in early July.
Yeah, so that was quite easy for basic cars, like small ones, but much more difficult for specific cars like 5 or 7 seats car, the wagons, and everything like this. That's why we kept the pricing quite high during summer, because that was the same for the other companies.
And for the audience, did you find any difficulties in, I don't know if you fleeted again, or you're going to refleet, or you are not able to defleet on a short notice? Was it difficult for you to manage your defleeting? Christine from Iceland is typing. Peter, in Bulgaria or in Austria, was it difficult to? Yeah, but Christine, did you find difficulties in defleeting, or it was pretty easy to manage this in the light in the cooperation with the car dealers? Okay, for Bulgaria, for example, it did not change that much. So to be able to have the summer, as in Iceland, is also very hard to. It has been pretty hard. They defleeted, but it has been pretty hard also to do it. So no, the defleeting was okay for Sweden. Refleeting is much more difficult in Sweden, apparently, for the 7-seaters. How do you explain this very high flexibility, Antoine, in being able to reduce and re-increase?
Because we know the garages and the cars brand, and we are working with them for years now. So that's maybe what was more easier. Sorry.
For Katerina in Greece, she said that in Greece, in fact, the ability to not defleet but deactivate some cars. So, as she said, was not difficult but very time consuming. So, thank you. And for Marcos in Spain, it's the difficulties will come next year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's to get the fleet back, Marcos. This is your this is what you mean? To buy new cars. Okay. We'll discuss this with tomorrow. You have a presentation with Nathalie Aubin and during the week, and we have this presentation to talk about the fleet management under the purchasing side, and it will be Thursday in English, Thursday AM at 10. She has 30 years of experience in fleet management for Europcar International. Please, Antoine, go ahead. Thanks.
Okay, so cars and tracks. So now we are trying to stay responsive now. So I just said before that we kept all the stations open. We manage the schedules, of course, but we kept them opened. So two benefits for this, we catched every request on the market because all the others were closed or mostly closed. I just said before that kept the staff concerned and ready at restart in summer. So now, so of course we adjust the strategy about the pricing. So we stayed quite aggressive on the basic categories like small cars, but for specific cars like 7-seater car wagons, automatic ones, were quite medium or high level in the market because most of the competitions didn't have cars. Also on one way, so we define different levels to the different kind of stations. On two big stations, the one-way fee were quite low, but for difficult or very far stations, the fare was more expensive. So that was also to reduce how many cars outside of the franchise, mostly because many Europcar stations in France were closed or mostly closed. We also did some job about the stop sale, so that can sound weird, but the goal was to target the most contributive accounts and to limit the less one, like the assistants or the staff ones. Then the yield opportunities. So in fact, we are trying to change the way to think about the customers, not about the price, the lower price, but more about the reactivity, to have cars available, to have stations opened, etc. We also created new offers. In fact, we renegotiate some national accounts, not anymore on a specific flat rate, but we are offering them a specific discount on the public rate, like for example on the EDF account. You can tell me in the chat if you are doing the same, like for the yield opportunities, or if you put some stop sale.
We did stop sale in the top airports in August. Celinda from Italy. Ulf also is typing from Sweden. So for you, Antoine, it was mostly to protect the contribution.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How was the reaction on the third parties, like brokers to operators, those guys, due to the stop sale while you were still open with your direct business?
In fact, this is only with the staff accounts, so they were surprised. They called the agency, but when you give the details and you explain, they're trying to understand. Yeah.
Okay. So you did not have any particular negative feedback from those distributors and third parties?
No.
Okay, that's good.
So now that's the different kind of offers we developed. Any chat? No. So we created new offers to respond to the new demand. So 3 months car rental, because some people didn't want to use the public transport anymore. We also created a new service at home, the delivery and collect. Just to know, did you create it on your side some different kind of offers?
We have some questions that answers are coming for the time being. Yes, also in Ireland, Fergus is creating some long-term offers for the. And Fergus, was it also to answer this fear of taking public transportation, you think? Katerina in Greece also, you think there is this kind of fear? No, just monthly offers. Katerina answered. And Fergus, do you think your clientele bought it because of the fear of public transportation? And Christine in Iceland is saying that now 35% of his fleet is long-term rental. That's amazing. Yeah. Short-term lease is a big success in Sweden too. And now you have long-term offers for a year, which is excellent. Mm. Yeah, so apparently it's something like it's really spread out around Europe.
Yeah. Mm. Okay, thank you.
And what about in Thailand? Same also, he deflated the short-term rentals and increased a lot long-term. That's good. Yes, apparently it's really a need or a market positioning, pretty clear. What about the success of the delivery and collect?
We didn't have hundreds of
Antoine, sorry, and a good comment from Marcus in Australia also, and the mobile car return test phase also. So that's
okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. Yeah, so we didn't have hundreds of demand, but this is to show to the customers we are trying to stay responsive and we are creating new offers. So this is more for the for the clients.
For the marketing purpose, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So to conclude, so we set 11 KPI due to the situation. So that's based, of course, on the past of the last few years, sorry, including the new context. What is important is to communicate. So of course with the customers. So to share the new offers, the good news. For example, we opened 2 new stations, one before and one just after the lockdown, and also to share some news about the activity with the co-workers. So just to finish, on the right, we got when fat ones are thin, the skin is dyed a long time ago. Sorry. So that can seem a little bit dark, but in fact, that means that if we are still here in good health, it's thanks to years of control, attention, progress.
Thank you very much, Antoine. So does it mean also that you were more resilient because of this of the pillars of your organization? You think that you were able more to face this?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And how is the reaction of the staff, the guys working at the counters or in the garage?
So they were happy to keep working even during May or June, March, April, and June. They like to have the informations of the different offers and the activity level.
I would like to show you that something we just refresh. As you know, we have this market trend report that is available on our website at this URL, and we just refresh it. We refresh it every 2 weeks, okay, and we aggregate all the data from our customers. So there is no possibility to look at every single particular operation. But this is the European view, okay, for all the clients we have in Europe. And as you can see on the bottom left, the level of cancellations for November has been extremely high compared to last year because of this lockdown. The RPD for the time being is
is okay, is even better than last year, okay? But the utilization has been mostly hit for sure, even though the fleet has continued to decrease a lot, but we really miss some data and some activity. And so for the others, you can switch to some areas we have in the rest of the world. I go back to my screen. So there was some, thank you, Antoine. Thank you for the presentation, Antoine. As you can see, there is a new question here, Emmanuel. Yeah. In your crisis decision to fight back and not only reduce activity was great. Congratulations. So you have had a good comment on this, Antoine. I think it's something that it's really important to have this pillar in terms of organization, not to fight and to look for only the let's say the short-term profitability and concern, but mostly to also structure it. The fact that you balance for many years the activity between mid-term, long-term, and short-term activity is an excellent indicator, because it helps to face the storm, and hopefully it will give some elements of organization or to start re-strategically position the company and your companies in the future. You have a lot of thank you, Antoine. Last but not least, for the one who would be interesting, we have the offer of the day for the audience, which is to give you the ability to get a revenue management diagnosis for free just during this week of webinars. So I put you the address you can use if you want to contact us. For sure, there will be a limited number of companies we can offer this, and we will select in the top list for the first one to arrive will be selected, and we will offer a diagnosis of revenue management together specifically for your company. So that is the first webinar. Thank you for the audience. I'm sorry for this technical effect that we are going to fix for the upcoming ones. That's the beginning, and that was live. So thank you very much, and wish you a good day. Keep in mind that every morning for the rest of the week, you have other topics that you can find on the WeYield.io events page, and hopefully you will be able to join Christian, Nathalie, and James also for other topics around revenue management. Thank you very much, guys. Wish you an excellent day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.